Caitlin Clark being gone has harmed and destroyed the WNBA viewership, not just from networks, but also here on the platform YouTube.
The Chicago Sky tweeted this out. But why do the Sky hate the Fever? They play too hard, they talk too much, they should have let them win for the sake of transmission ends. Like Angel Reese, by the way.
Angel Reese was recently suspended for harassing Caitlin Clark based on her race, and that really backfired, I assure you.
This league and being able to support me going through this whole process. Obviously, it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone, and I think they've done a great job supporting us in this.
Despite playing the victim and chasing fictitious double-doubles, she was unable to prevent the Fever from smoking the Sky. Fans are now making fun of her wig, lies, and sky-high delusion, making her the most popular joke on the internet.
We ultimately know what happened with the lies that was being told about the Indiana Fever fan base.
After Caitlin Clark is absent from a few games, the WNBA abruptly collapses. As in, literally, views have been removed. The engagement ended interested. What's of interest? You would think that the league would wake up and recognize that. She is the one carrying the entire business, but they haven't. Rather, Angel Reese drags this league into disarray as if it were her favor.
A lot of people thought that many other players played a part in the, engagement and growing of the league, and I'm here to tell you that is not the truth.
Let's go back to the now famous May 17th incident. Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever. It sounds harmless, doesn't it? No, the entire league was enraged by that game, and not in a good way. Because of one individual who couldn't resist making it about herself, the event devolved into a circus rather than fans discussing the basketball itself. Then comes Angel Reese, not because she ruled the court, either. Please, she was too preoccupied with attempting to prove to the world that the crowd had attacked her racially. The way she pitched it, you'd believe a fan brandishing a Confederate flag tackled her in the middle of the game.
Angel Reese tweeted that out, and then the Chicago Sky posted this one right here. We don't care about none of that Sky on top, back to our original programming. Since that game,
naturally, she approached the media as if it were the red carpet. Oh, the suffering, the trauma, the whole ritual of God protects me and I'm loved by my team. The game took place on May 17th, girl. She was already creating a brand around the drama before the league had even finished analyzing the footage. The WNBA examined fan allegations, audio, video, and venue staff interviews during a month-long inquiry and concluded, yeah, that thing never happened, nothing, no proof. However, the harm had already been done. Due to the toxic disaster that Angel created, everyone had already left the WNBA, including their grandmother.
Was against the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese. In that specific game, there was a lot of drama. There was a lot of lying.
She then had the audacity to tweet about charter flights and crowded stadia. Like, butts are in chairs because of her. Please pardon me. Everyone is hoping to see Caitlin Clark drop 30 on your head, which is why those seats are filled. Angel, it's also more than simply Twitter chatter. Caitlin's absence had a direct negative impact on YouTube, TV, and WNBA viewership. In a scramble in the fourth quarter, the numbers dropped more quickly than Angel's wig.
The truth of the matter is, one player single-handedly helped keep this main thing afloat. And I'm telling you right now, when that young lady is not on the basketball court, the engagement and the interest in this league has simply went away.
Let's speak about actual basketball now. Whether what Angel has been doing can really be referred to as basketball. In every meeting since that May 17th game, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have thoroughly destroyed the Chicago Sky. 4 games for victories and no defeats, and here's the thing, they embarrassed them in addition to winning. Over 20 points is the average margin of victory. That is a crime scene, not a rivalry.
rolled over last year. Last year they built up a 13-point lead and lost the 13-point lead at the start of the game in like 3 minutes. They literally were just letting open layups being ran in.
Caitlin didn't even finish one of the games since the Fever were winning handily. What a waste Angel and her team were. Caitlyn didn't even have to be on the court to end it. They were so awful that they weren't just losing, the fever increased. The score, even though they benched its best players in the fourth quarter, this cannot be made up.
Go up 27 points. Take off Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and the Chicago Sky leave Angel Reese. Basically, it's bench v bench.
Ree is out there chasing double-doubles like it's a TikTok trend in the meanwhile. Look, it was trash time when she grabbed her 10 rebounds. When I say trash time, I mean that Angel was still out there tagging stats against backup centers who were in the middle of their post-game smoothies while everyone else was seated. She made 2 free throws, scored 6 points, and still pleaded for one more board to hit the enchanted double-double as if it would erase the ill news. Flash, but it didn't.
Brought it back in garbage time. That's pretty much it. Angel Reese wanted to get her double-double in garbage time. That's the only reason it hasn't been a...
Let's make a comparison. Against the Fever, Angel Reese has never scored more than 13 points. Complete games, complete minutes, and no impact. In contrast, Caitlin Clark has an impact on the entire game without ever touching the ball. Just her off-ball movement had Chicago reeling. Bree Turner was also making points. Bree Turner, you're crazy. When Caitlin is playing, the floor opens up to that extent. Ree, meanwhile, is unable to even make the bench appear occupied.
Right here is why this season is bad. This happened the very first damn game. Like, did we all forget that very first game?
Let's return to the story of the assault now. Ree went beyond simply asserting that there were racist fans. With that lie, she completely upended the league. In interviews, she discussed her suffering, how God was supporting her, and how she was getting through it. Like this wasn't your typical league game, but rather a Lifetime film. Furthermore, she never identified the alleged racist speaker. She would at least point the blame if she was that traumatized, but instead she merely gave evasive emotional performances with no supporting documentation.
Obviously, there's no place in this league for that. I think the WNBA, our team and our organization has done a great job supporting me. I've had communication from everyone, from so many people across this league.
Additionally, YouTubers like John the Liquidator were already dissecting the facts as she was crying in front of the media. His film, which detailed the precise chronology of events and revealed the entire situation as a publicity gimmick, quickly garnered over 100,000 views. Silence was the league's answer. Afterward, on May 31st, a general statement was made that read, "Yeah, so about that racism thing never happened. They went through every second of the tape, spoke with team members and supporters, and found nothing. However, because Angel Reese sobbed over it, the WNBA continued to act as though it were true for a month."
There is no Caitlin Clark. And when there is no Caitlin Clark, there is no interest in the WNBA. Now, do I feel like this would have been a thing if...
Not to mention the league's brief anti-hate speech campaign, which was introduced in the midst of all of this, to add to the drama and give the impression that they cared. The irony is hilarious. They gave the microphone to someone who used phony anger as a tactic to gain influence while preaching tolerance, and fans saw straight through it. It was a vicious blowback. People ceased to care, to watch, and to participate. All because Angel's gaming was insufficient to generate the headlines she needed to.
Investigation didn't spark anything. It was just a bunch of drama that held itself pretty much hostage for like nearly a month.
Angel Reese genuinely believed that social media would be her playground. It turned into her execution in public. Do you recall the preseason tweets she sent out as though she was the league's owner? Charter planes, crowded venues, and sky. On top, indeed, those aged worse than the Saharan milk. Fans dug them up and littered the internet like it was a national celebration after 4 consecutive embarrassing losses due to the fever. These same tweets have since been turned into screenshots and memes with the caption "Sky under everyone."
A crazy one. This tweet This is a crazy thing to post as your official on your official page, but at the end of the day, you are 0-4 against the Indiana Fever since this game.
Next followed the meme that, in just 6 words, encapsulated the whole WNBA season. The WNBA died because Angel relied. It wasn't only a trend. It encapsulated the league's entire PR catastrophe. Why? Because the WNBA risked everything to support Angel's racial allegation and then remained utterly mute when the inquiry revealed no evidence, nothing after a month of fan fury. There was only one huge league-sponsored truck, not a yell or a whisper.
WNBA investigation. Now, we ultimately know the investigation didn't spark anything. It was just a bunch of drama that held itself pretty much hostage.
However, it didn't end there. Oh no, people began to notice that Angel was still battling for rebounds during full-on blowouts. Just like she was in the Hunger Games, they referred to it as stat chasing, which is exactly what it was and have. Faith that the internet doesn't fail. Even if she is 30 minutes down, she is still attempting to get her 10th board as if it were the championship game. The joke was written by itself. Along with her double-double, Angel Reese also suffered a double-digit loss. Influencers also jumped in. She was criticized by sports commentators for holding onto her fantasy of a filled arena and a charter airplane like, "Girl, fans aren't coming because of you. They're come to watch Caitlin Clark dominate the league, not to see you pose after missed layups and have a shooting spree." The internet has formally labeled the entire story she created about herself as delusional distraction.
Wide open layups, and they put in no fight. Put in no fight. This is the closest thing they put into fight, or being to fighting against.
As if the WNBA couldn't get any more embarrassing, they suddenly start playing wig games. Midway through a Mystics versus Mercury game, a player's wig abruptly flew off, and what took place? Like every other person, a fan laughed, and they were ejected by security, tossed them out, not for being aggressive, not for hurling objects, and not for laughing at a wig that didn't work. Well done, the WNBA formally transformed into a circus with a safe environment.
Give a damn about the league. People never came back to even watch the league after that, because they single-handedly tried to call one single fan base racist, and it was a blatant lie. And that blatant lie currently hurt.
The kicker is this, though, it was more than just safety. Like it was elementary school tattletale hour, WNBA players were out there pointing at supporters. As if her juice box had been stolen, Alyssa Thomas sprinted straight to the referees. It would appear that she was fouled, not at all. She simply objected to people making fun of her teammates' lace fronts going into orbit since, apparently, wig accidents are now considered hate crimes.
These special whistles, and Caitlin Clark not getting the love she got. Well, the love she deserved, because she getting a bad rap over lies, man, and just hatred for no reason.
The 2025 narrative was seized by racist fan investigations and supporters getting evicted for laughing at wigs, rather than commemorating real hoops milestones. Not to be overlooked is the officiating. Fans were furious, not only irritated. The internet was inundated with accusations of bias and special whistling directed at Caitlin Clark. Why Caitlin had to get bodies pounded only to elicit a foul was a question even casual watchers were wondering. Angel might, in the meantime, collapse like a dead fish and get away with free throws.
How did it affect you Saturday, trying to do your job, trying to play, and having this going on simultaneously?
Yeah, obviously.
Furthermore, don't even mention Sophie Cunningham, because every article was still focused on Angel Reese's daily dose of drama. Hardly anyone paid attention to the one player who genuinely attempted to add grit to the league when he was hurt and had to miss time. Dana Bonner posted victories and negative plus-minus statistics. How on earth is that possible? Hey, don't worry. Angel was popular because she made every post-game a spectacle, not because of her talent or leadership. Let's also discuss Angel's purported support network. She never stops talking about it. I'm cherished, I have support, God and my crew are on my side. Fantastic. Now explain to me why almost all of her teammates performed poorly. Even so, the Chicago Sky lost by 15 points in their closest game since May 17th. They gave it their all, and they rejoiced like though they had won. While dragging the entire crew into the muck with her antics, Angel continued to yell allegiance.
This is the priority. Obviously, there's no place for this, and they preached. I think 2 days before they put out no hate no speech.
So ultimately, that was Angel Reese talking about this whole situation.
That tearful interview was the icing on the cake. She made another attempt to play the compassion card. Spiritual illusions, passionate voice, and full PR mode. However, viewers weren't buying it, particularly since video of the game showed that no fan had said anything offensive or racist, that nobody had been acting inappropriately, and that Angel was just being Angel the entire time, transforming an ordinary evening into a Netflix special.
My support system is great. God has protected me in so many different ways. I've gone through so many different things in the past couple of years of my life, but I think just having this support and this love and being a part of an organization that really supports me and loves me is something.
The true question has been posed by critics. Why hasn't she responded to the league's own inquiry exonerating the fans if she truly cared about justice and the truth? Not one word, because acknowledging that everything was false would ruin the story she has created, and even if the entire league fails with her, Angel Reese will never do that. Caitlin Clark, however, never contributed to the drama, remained mute, and never played the victim. Fans appreciated her letting her game talk, Angel Reese, her mouth did the talking. And the supporters gave a resounding response, although Angel's career may be taking off. If you want to know the full tale of the meltdown, be sure to like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you don't miss anything.